All right. Hello. It's been a minute, like a while. If I want to be exact, let me check really quick. It has been 2 years. Last time I uploaded was in frickin' August 13th of 2023. That's crazy. That is a long time ago. But the main reason I'm making this is to stop using this channel for good. I don't think I'll ever upload on it again. I don't see a future where that happens, but I do still want to animate. I just don't know when, because first, time, second, I don't really know when I'll feel like it, but I definitely do feel like feel like doing it eventually. So I will have a different channel for it. I don't really want to upload on this one anymore because there's it's just a bunch of my old stuff. I guess it's kind of like an archive of sort. I'm gonna keep all everything I have here. Also wanted to just start off fresh. It's been a minute. Maybe I'll try animating on like my computer because I've been using Flip a Clip for multiple years. This is kind of just gonna be me yapping about my thoughts and like my life. I never done anything like this before, so I'm probably gonna sound weird, but bear with me. Growing up, I always wanted to do something like crazy with art. The first plan I had was to become like a story time animator. I remember that was when that was like really big, and I was probably like below the age of 10 when I wanted to do that for the first time. That was like the first idea I had. And I remember I did try it once. This is lost in the archives forever and it is gone. But I remember I made one video when I was like 9 years old or something. And oh my god, dude, it was the most cornball shit you could have ever seen. It was terrible. What is it? I didn't even use like animation. I like made a bunch of drawings on IBS Paint. I remember I used back then. It'd kind of be like an animatic, but like a really terrible one. So it just looked like a bunch of PNGs mashed up, and the transitions were terrible. And obviously, me talking at like 10, I sounded like an absolute idiot. It was terrible. I hate it. I hate it. I hate thinking about it. It was the worst piece of media I have ever created, and I am glad that it is gone forever. Yeah, that was my first plan for this. That was the first idea I've ever had at the ripe old age of 10. But basically, I think that was a starting point of me making animation memes. And that's kind of like what my channel is now. Just a bunch of random bullshit with music in the background. That's literally it. Animation with music in the background. And honestly, at first it was pretty choppy. I won't lie. Like it was kind of meh. But over time, I do like looking at these. They're kind of cool to look back on. And I haven't made one in a very long time. I think the first one I made a very long time ago. I made a video called it was called just Brain Power, like the song. It was literally just like this stick figure, and he'd be like tweaking out at the song. This is my first ever like my full attempt of an animation, and it was horrendous. It looked terrible, and it was nasty. And I made two other ones after that. There was three parts. Three. I don't know what compelled me to be like, yeah, this first one was so good. Let me make another one. There's one here called Animated A Totem of Undying, which was my like first real attempt of making any type of fluid animation, I think. And it didn't turn out too bad, honestly. I made it back in August 16th of 2020. I was like going crazy. This is like my 10th video by this point. Some of you might remember this ancient video, but I made the RPG video, which did a lot better than I would like to admit, honestly, for how bad it was. It got 461 views and 28 likes with 31 comments. And then right after that, I uploaded Brain Power Finale. All of these videos are just they're ancient. I remember vividly making every single one of them in my living room in my second house. It'd be like late at night. I'd be on the couch, like drawing all of these frames, grinding it out because I thought it would be I thought it'd be going somewhere in the future, and I guess it could have, but there comes a point where you're just like, I really don't want to do this anymore. I'm seeing videos here of people that I don't even speak to anymore, and we've had falling outs, but it's kind of crazy looking back and thinking how much I really wanted to do this for a living. I had voice reveal. That was a video. I uploaded that a long time ago, and that was the first time that I've ever had my voice uploaded into the internet, and you could hear it right here.
What the hell?
It's pretty bad. But a lot of these old ones have Zen in it, which was kind of like my plus one in a lot of this in this channel. It was just kind of he'd be in a lot of these, because we both animated, we were both starting out, and we try to help each other out. Rolling Girl, that was a video I made a long time ago that I still kind of like. I think it's pretty cool. And right after that is kind of when it started popping off out of nowhere. I made End is Near and Allergic to People, which End is Near got freaking 2,324 views. I was like, that's crazy for me. Like, it was out of nowhere because before this, I was averaging like maybe 50, 100. And, and then I remember making the I Hate You animation, which I still like, honestly. It was pretty fluid, I think, for like that long ago. It's pretty cool to look at. I don't know. I don't hate it. I have it unlisted. Maybe I'll unlist it. I'm not sure. I'll probably unlist a bunch of videos after this is out, honestly, because I don't know. I don't see a reason to hide them anymore. I had New Light meme, which was for my friend Natalie, and it was also an animation that I liked that I still like. I think it's cool. I made Where's Your Head At? That was a cool one too. And then I also made Is It Cold Outside, which is an animation I think is a cool one I made too that I do like. I'll probably list this too. What I'm noticing is from the very beginning, it's like uploaded May 20th, May 21st, May 30th, May 31st, June 1st, and then it's just constant like going. And as like time progresses, I've uploaded like 40 videos in 1 year of animations. I'm like, that's crazy. And I'm noticing like the further I go, it's starting to go like January 1st, 2022, January 24th, 2022. Like it's getting further apart and further apart, and then eventually goes to July 24th, 2022, September 14th, 2022, January 10th, 2023, March 3rd, 2023. And it just gets further, and you can tell the burnout's there. I just eventually just didn't want to do it anymore. And that's where it kind of stopped. And I never really said anything about it. I just kind of, dipped. I was like, whatever. Nobody watches enough to need to know. And that's kind of how it's always been until now, obviously. Back to the topic of the newer channel I wanted to make. Those animations, I'm done with animation memes. Maybe I'll make some more for the road, but those they're dead. I don't want to do that again. But for new ones, I had plans of making like little short animations of stories that I just happen to make up, and maybe some of my friends will help me with voice acting or whatever. And it's been something I wanted to do, and I think I will. I just don't know when. That I never. I'm not gonna put a date on myself because I know I probably not gonna fulfill it. I already have like an entire story in my head that I've always wanted to draw out and maybe like make into a manga comic type thing. I don't know. I don't care, but just to tell a story that's been brewing up in my mind that I thought would be cool. Maybe I'll do it. I don't know. I've never had the it's like a passion in my head of, yeah, I want to do this. I think it's really cool. I'm really proud of these characters, this story I came up with, but I don't know if I am gonna let other people of the world see what I've came up with. Maybe I'll put a I'll put up a few pictures here just so you can see a few of the characters I come up with. I haven't drawn them all out, but I do have ideas for like every single one of them. There's concept arts and stuff. I do plan on making like little animations with them though, far future. I don't know if I'll go as far as to actually start drawing out all the panels and stuff that I want to do. I feel like it's going to be one of those things where I upload it, no one really sees them, but they're there, and they, maybe it'd just be cool, a thing for me, I guess. But that's kind of always how I viewed it personally. Now, for like the real part of this is like, I don't know if I'll ever be accomplished in what I do because I did it for fun, and then eventually I wanted to make something out of it, and now I'm not sure. It's in that gray area of unlikelihood to me, and I don't think I'll ever be able to make anything out of it. But maybe I will. I Another reason for me kind of being gone is like I don't know what I want to do really. Because yeah, these are all things I mentioned that I want to do, but I don't know where that's gonna take me in the road ahead of living and not being homeless. The ideas always kind of stress me out of my future. I don't know where it's going. I never had any plans that I had locked down. And it's scary to think about. I see a lot of my friends already kind of know what they're doing or where they're going, and it kind of makes you feel like behind in a way. It's like what do I do? Everyone is getting it figured out, and I do not. Even the ones I make fun of, it's like, yeah, look at you, you got no money. In reality, in my head, I'm thinking, yeah, but they have plans, and they're probably gonna figure it out. I have zero doubt in my mind that they won't figure it out, and they won't get through it. But then it comes to myself, and I'm like, I do doubt that I can get through it. I mean, I don't even have like a job. It's scary. I mean, but the my friends, one works at a coffee shop, one works at Target, and then there's all these other ones, which like one is becoming a firefighter, and it's just like, yikes. I see like all of these people moving up, and it's like, what do I do? I don't know. I don't think I really talked about it much because why would I? I I don't have work. I am probably gonna go to school, but I don't know what the plan after that is. What am I going for? Just to sit there and twiddle my thumbs? I feel like I'm going nowhere in the future, and I'm gonna end up the lowest of the low of the people I know. And it's like even the people that I feel don't have it figured out, it feels like they'll have that go-to person of like, yeah, I have my girlfriend, I have my boyfriend, I have my husband, I have my wife, all that. And I'm just kind of there. I don't I don't really have a go-to person to speak about any of this to. And I'm sure multiple people have gone through this of just like, what do I do? I'm screwed. I'm gonna end up like Squidward in the box, bro. Find myself sitting in my room, laying on my bed, like scrolling through my phone, and I'm just like, where am I going? I'm seeing all these people together, enjoying just living, you know? And even with my art, it's like I'll look at it, I'll be really happy. I'll be like, yeah, this looks awesome. This is cool. And you'll see that one motherfucker in your feed, and it's really cool, and you're like, wow. This is so cool. I literally have chills. This might be the coolest thing I've ever seen. But then you think about it, I'm like, I don't think I will ever be capable of getting up to that level because that is crazy. How does a person do that? Like, look at these. Then there's that whole like AI thing. Like, I don't even want to get into it. Like that shit. Is I absolutely despise it. It's so stupid. I hate it so much. Like how much does RAM cost now? By the way, I'm not gonna get into the whole AI stuff. I'm sure anybody could guess what a traditional or digital artist would think of AI. And yeah, I'm part of the majority. I have friends who stream, who also do YouTube, but they do other stuff on the side. You know, they're doing what they can to survive. I haven't really felt any kind of fulfillment since I graduated middle school, I think. And that was a while ago. I can never be the best at anything. I don't think any no matter what you put your effort into, I feel like there will always be somebody better than you. Even like friends, like I think I have some friends that like exceed me in drawing, and I think that's really cool. And it's like, dude, you are going places. But then it also kind of like makes you think like, man, we're like the same age. Why can't I do that? Or there's somebody, dude, I have a friend that's younger than me. This guy, he codes, he does music. What the hell? What is this guy doing? How does he know all this? You're like 12. He's not actually, but if he's watching this, yeah, I'm sure you know I'm talking about you. Yeah, it's you. I also have another friend. I don't really talk to her often, but I still think that she's cool. But she doesn't seem to have everything together, but she seems to be going places. You know, she's traveled the world. She's in school. She's doing all that, and it's incredible. I'm like, wow. And then there's the people in real life that are like talking about their plans and everything, and they seem to have it figured out. And then they ask you, "What are you gonna do?" And it just gets you to sit there and think, "I don't know. What am I gonna do?" This was kind of like just a yap session for the most part. I don't really have specific topics to talk about other than, what's been on my mind. I obviously have not mentioned everything. There's some things that you just kind of keep in your head. But all this to say, I will be making a second channel that is specifically for animations and any type of art content. I am going to let this one die out. It is a part of the past. And also to say, if there's anybody that's like watching that like happens to be thinking all this too, it's like, dude, we're in the same boat. You may watch like my other videos where I'm like sitting there laughing. Yeah, this funny stuff happens, but it's like still when it comes to like real life, it's kind of crazy. I don't know. This was a nice yap session. I'm sure I'll probably get dunked on it by somebody. I don't know. One of my friends is probably messaging me like, "You a fucking cornball." But yeah, I'll see you guys another time. Bye bye.